Ladies and gentlemen, life has a way of making us question where we stand. We often mistake growth for sadness, transformation for loneliness, and peace for isolation. But today I want to tell you something powerful. If you recognize these signs, you are not depressed. If you've started appreciating the little things, like the sound of birds in the morning, a quiet moment with your thoughts, or a heartfelt conversation, you are seeing life through a lens of gratitude. That's not sadness, that's awakening. If you've walked away from people or situations that drain your energy, it's not because you're lost, it's because you've found yourself. Growth sometimes means losing the people who no longer fit your journey. That's not suffering, that's wisdom. If you no longer fear being alone but rather embrace it, you have reached a rare and beautiful stage of self-contentment. Being comfortable in your own company is not loneliness, it's strength. If you have learned to forgive, not because someone deserves it, but because you deserve peace, you have unlocked one of life's greatest blessings. Letting go of resentment doesn't make you weak, it makes you free. If you have started to trust life more, worry less, and surrender to the journey without the constant need to control everything, that's not giving up, that's rising above. So, my friends, if you see these signs in yourself, don't mistake them for despair. They are proof that you are evolving. You are not depressed, you are blessed. Gratitude over gloom. Life has a strange way of making us focus on what we lack rather than what we have. It's human nature to dwell on the negatives, to compare ourselves with others, and to constantly think about the things that seem missing. But what if I told you that one of the greatest signs of being blessed is not in having everything, but in appreciating what's already in your hands? Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in life. It shifts our mindset from, I don't have enough, to, I already have so much. When we stop for a moment and truly reflect, we realize that even in our hardest days, there are blessings hiding in plain sight. The simple fact that we wake up in the morning, that we have food on our table, that we have a roof over our heads, these are things we often take for granted, but to many these are luxuries. Think about it. When was the last time you paused to appreciate the warmth of the sun on your skin, the laughter of a loved one, the peace of a quiet evening? The problem is that we are conditioned to chase after bigger goals, higher achievements and material successes, believing that happiness lies somewhere in the future. We think, once I get that job, I'll be happy. Once I buy that car, I'll be content. Once I have that relationship, I'll feel complete. But the truth is, if you cannot appreciate what you have now, you will never truly be happy with more. Some of the happiest people in the world are not the wealthiest, nor are they the ones with the most fame or power. They are the ones who wake up every day and choose to focus on the good, no matter how small. They have learned that joy is not found in possessions, but in perspective. They may have challenges, they may have struggles, but they refuse to let those define their entire existence. On the other hand, some of the most miserable people have everything they ever wished for but still feel empty. Why? Because their minds are trained to see what's missing rather than what's present. This is why gratitude is not just a practice, it's a way of living. If you find yourself appreciating life's simple moments, if you feel peace in things that money cannot buy, then you are not struggling. You are awakening. You are seeing life for what it truly is. You are not depressed. You are blessed. So the next time you feel like you don't have enough, take a deep breath. Look around you. Think about the people who love you, the lessons you've learned, the challenges you've overcome. Gratitude does not mean ignoring your problems. It means recognizing that even in the midst of them, you still have so much to be thankful for. The ability to see beauty in the ordinary is a gift. The ability to smile even on difficult days is strength. And the ability to wake up and say, "Today I choose to be grateful," that is a blessing beyond measure. Letting go of what drains you. One of the hardest but most liberating decisions in life is to walk away from what no longer serves you. Whether it's toxic relationships, old habits, or a past that weighs you down, letting go is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of growth. We often hold on to things and people out of fear, fear of change, fear of being alone, or fear of the unknown. But here's the truth. When something constantly drains your energy, makes you feel unworthy, or keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity, it's not meant for you. And recognizing that is a blessing, not a burden. Think about how many times you've held on to friendships that made you feel small, relationships that drained your happiness, or environments that limited your potential. You stayed because you thought you had to, because you were afraid of what would happen if you left. But the moment you choose yourself, the moment you decide that your peace is more important than pleasing others, that's the moment you start truly living. Walking away does not mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself to stop settling for less than you deserve. It means you understand that not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever, and that's okay. Some people are lessons, not lifelong companions. Some situations are stepping stones, not destinations. Letting go is not a loss, it's a gain. It's gaining freedom from what holds you back. It's gaining clarity on what truly matters. It's gaining the strength to make space for better things to come. And if you've had the courage to walk away from what no longer aligns with your happiness, you are not lost. You are found. So if you see yourself moving on from the past, distancing yourself from negativity, and choosing your own well-being over unnecessary drama, don't mistake that for sadness. That is not a sign of depression. It is a sign that you are blessed with wisdom, strength, and a deep understanding of your own worth. Embracing solitude, not loneliness. There is a profound difference between being alone and feeling lonely. Society often makes us believe that being alone is something to fear, something to avoid at all costs. But the truth is, solitude is not a punishment. It's a blessing in disguise. When you start enjoying your own company, when you no longer seek constant validation from others, and when you find peace in silence rather than discomfort, you are not isolated. You are evolving. Learning to be comfortable with yourself is one of the greatest strengths a person can have. It means you are no longer dependent on external sources for your happiness. It means your joy comes from within, not from someone else's approval or presence. Some of the most insightful moments in life happen when we are alone. In solitude, you gain clarity about who you are, what you want, and where you are headed. You start to hear your own thoughts without the noise of others' opinions. You begin to trust your intuition, to understand your emotions, and to appreciate the beauty of stillness. Many people fear being alone because they associate it with loneliness. But loneliness is not about physical absence, it's about emotional disconnection. You can be in a crowded room and still feel lonely, just as you can be by yourself and feel completely at peace. The key is learning to enjoy your own presence, to see solitude as an opportunity for growth rather than a void that needs to be filled. If you have reached a point where you no longer feel the need to constantly surround yourself with people, where you are content in your own space, and where you find joy in simple, quiet moments, then you are not lost. You are not broken. You are blessed with a rare kind of self-awareness that many spend a lifetime searching for, forgiving and moving forward. Forgiveness is one of the hardest things to do, yet it is one of the most powerful acts of freedom. Many people think that forgiving someone means excusing their actions or pretending that the pain they caused never happened. But real forgiveness is not about them, it's about you. It's about releasing yourself from the chains of resentment, anger, and past wounds that weigh you down. Holding on to grudges may feel justified at times, but in reality, it only hurts the one carrying them. The person who wronged you may not even think about what they did, while you carry the burden of that pain every single day. Letting go does not mean what they did was okay. It simply means you refuse to let their actions control your life any longer. Forgiveness is not a weakness, it is strength. It takes courage to move forward, to heal, and to refuse to let bitterness define your future. Some wounds may take time to heal, and that's okay. But every step you take toward letting go is a step toward peace. The most beautiful part of forgiveness is that it does not just apply to others. It applies to yourself too. We all have regrets, mistakes, and moments we wish we could undo. But punishing yourself forever for things you cannot change will never help you grow. You are human, you are learning, and just as others deserve grace, so do you. If you have reached a place where you no longer let old pain control you, where you have chosen to forgive for the sake of your own peace, and where you have made the decision to move forward rather than stay stuck in the past, then you are not broken, you are blessed. Because true freedom is found not in holding on, but in letting go, living in the present. One of the greatest blessings in life is learning to embrace the present moment. Too often, we are caught between regrets of the past and worries about the future, forgetting that life is happening right now. We replay old mistakes in our minds, wondering what we could have done differently, or we stress about what's ahead, believing happiness will come one day, when we reach a certain goal, achieve success, or fix everything we think is wrong. But the truth is, the only time we truly have is now. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain, yet we sacrifice today's peace worrying about things we cannot change or control. When you start to let go of unnecessary anxiety and choose to be present in each moment, you are not careless, you are wise. Living in the present means appreciating the small things. Feeling the warmth of the sun, enjoying a deep conversation, savoring the laughter of a loved one. It means understanding that joy is not something to chase, but something to notice. It also means accepting life as it unfolds rather than resisting it. Not everything will go according to plan, and that's okay. Sometimes what seems like a setback is actually a hidden blessing. Trusting the journey, even when you don't have all the answers, is a sign of strength, not weakness. If you have started to let go of excessive worry, if you find yourself focusing more on what you can do instead of what you can't, and if you are choosing to embrace life as it comes, then you are not lost. You are not failing. You are learning one of the most valuable lessons life has to offer. That peace is not found in the past or future. It is found right here, right now, and that is a blessing beyond measure.